Hey everybody, Big E here on Big E's YouTube channel. Today, I know I alluded to in some of my previous videos with Project Vet, we're having an electrical issue. The electrical issue was the cluster. And if anybody knows anything about C4 Corvettes, that's like one of the Achilles heels of the C4 Corvette. So, like I said, took me about two and a half weeks to find out what had happened. What happened is it was my fault. I arced the wire and it popped something and the dash stopped working. So we were tracing a bunch of stuff, wires, blah, blah, blah. What ultimately we found out was we had to repair a wire. So I'm kind of doing this video in retrospect because the issue has been solved and corrected on the car. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to retrace my steps for you guys. If you have a cluster or a Corvette cluster you're working on, or you have a Corvette and you suspect your cluster might be going south, this might help you a little bit. A little bit of a side note, this here is only bench testing I'm going to show today, and to help kind of diet, and I'm going to show you what was wrong with my car. Doesn't mean that's what's wrong with your car, just what I went through. If you want to do more research and deeper into it, like I did, I watched like an hour and a half of videos. The website is www.batee.com. The gentleman on there, I believe his name is Steve. He's an electrical engineer. I think he rebuilds all Corvette clusters. That's, I think, his side gig. And he's really good at it. Watch his videos. Very, very informative of what he does on there. He shows you how to rebuild the cluster and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, so I'm getting sidetracked. He showed how you can test bench, and I had to build the wires to do this. So first of all, another thing that'll help, mine's an 85 Vet. So these cars are pretty old. So it might be beneficial to get some schematics, or like I have here, I don't know. I can't really get you a good shot here, but it's the connector for the back of the cluster. Okay. It breaks it down, what each pin does, what it's connected to, what you should be seeing there, and what it controls, which is very, very helpful if you have something like what I had going on. Your dash is out, it's not working at all, and you have no power. Anyway, so without further dragging it on, I apologize. My garage is literally trashed with the electrical stuff going on and trying to fix stuff on the Vet. I'm trying to switch gears. I got to get the Camaro ready for race season. But anyway, it's a side note. So I apologize. Bear with me. So anyway, what we're going to do is I made up some of these. I have 6 leads here, and they have, these are the size that you want to fit on the pin to connector. I forget the size. But anyway, you're going to want at least 3 for power, and you're going to want 6 for ground. So you're going to need 2. So what I have here is this. What I'm going to do is I have the pins right here of pins for red 12-volt power and black ground. I'm going to hold that up. Those are the number of pins. So C16, D16, and D5 are your power, where you want to have voltage at. A1, D3, D1, A6, A8, and A10 are going to be your grounds for doing this test. So again, I'll hold that up if you need to do a test. Okay, hopefully that helps. Now, so the writing on these is super, super small, and my eyes are starting to go south, so I'm at that age where I have to wear readers. So I'm going to put my readers on here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to find these pins. So we have C and D16, which are power, okay? So they're at the top and they're next to each other. So we're going to plug those 2 in, and then we're going to look for D5. Now, if you're doing this, you're going to see D5 on some schematics is marked as battery power for memory. Don't let that's what threw me off. Don't let that mislead you. It also needs that to power the cluster, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to simulate the problem that my car had and show you and what I did to correct it. Okay, so now let me grab another wire here because I got to find pin D5 here, which is supposedly for memory. Okay, so we're going to shine a light D1, 2, D5. Okay, so those are going to be for your power, okay, your positive side. Now, we got for our grounds, we're going to use all 6 of these. There's a bunch of them. What did I say? It was D1, D3. Let's go D3, D1. Okay, and then A1 and A6. So that's in your smaller. That's in the other connector. So what did I say? A1 and A6. Like I said, it is hard to see. A8 and A10. Okay, so now our pins are hooked up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to test this thing and see how it works. So this is going to be our ground. So I don't have the most ideal condition here. So I'm going to just wrap this around. I'm just using a regular 12 volt. This is actually off my garden tractor. Okay, so it's 12 volts, blah, blah, blah. So we have ground hooked up. And I'm going to try and have you watch if you can see here. I don't know if you can see it lit up. Okay, so I have lights here, and this is actually on low. Now, if I cover this up, it did light up. Let me turn this off. Maybe this is what's throwing it off. But you did see, yeah, see it is on, but because of light, it's very low. You can't really see that it's on, but it is. It's giving me different stuff here. Now, I really wish it would get brighter. Let me see if it comes up more. Bear with me, guys, because the interior lights are on behind here. Anyway, this is going to be tough, especially with that light on. But there is light. There is a light here. It's very dim, and you can't really see it. But let me try redoing this. Maybe this. I'm trying to get it so it's on, but what it's doing, it's sensing the light. There's a light sensor. Okay, so you see how it's on? And then it went dim. That means that the light sensor is working. Now, all this is lit up. I know you can't see it. It's tough to see, but you saw it get bright and it went dark. What I'm going to do now that that lit up, is I'm going to simulate what happened. Now, remember I said about pin D5 needed to have power to it. I already ran power to C16 and D16, which are 12 volt powers, if you read the schematics for this. So I already ran another pigtail and tapped it into the back of the connector, so I knew I had power there. So when I checked with D5, I didn't have power. So you can simulate the problem. All you do is you take pin D5, you pull it out, You can't see it, but it just went out. Okay? If I plug D5 back in, and without my glasses I can't, but anyway, if I plug D5 in, it'd flash and do the same thing again. So what happened was I didn't have power on D5. So I went ahead, I did the same thing I did with C16 and D16. I got 12 volt ignition power, and I ran that also to the, it tapped into that wire. It's on the C4s, I believe it's a pink wire with a black tracer, and that's for all three, C16, D16, and D5. It's a pink wire with black tracer. That's what you're going to want to tap into. So let me disconnect this. So you're going to want to tap into that ignition voltage. Now it says battery voltage on D5. Don't get confused and put that into a constant hot, because then the cluster is going to be on all the time, kill your battery, because that's what I did. You're going to want ignition voltage, which means it goes with the key on your steering column. You're going to want that again for all your power, D5, C16, D16. Then that way your cluster should work then once you have power. So that's what I did. So not much else I can go here, because now it has to be, I'm going to put it back in the car and set everything up now that I know it works. But anyway, the important thing is, I guess, to take away from this is that figuring out and bench testing something is something you can do that really can help you diagnose a problem. If I would have known about this sooner than what I did, I probably would have had the car up and going sooner, but that's okay. It was a learning experience. Like I said, I had to build the test leads and all that stuff. But I know that the cluster's, for the most part, operable. Fixed the problem in the wiring on the car. I know when I plug this in, it's going to work, because it just worked half hour ago. So I pulled this out just to do the video and kind of demonstrate for you guys bench testing and electronics and certain things like that. So anyway, if you have electrical things or electronic stuff, do the research. Check out batty.com if you have a Corvette cluster. A lot of useful information there, a lot of instructional videos he has, and a lot of products he has that he sells for the C4 and all the other Corvettes. So anyway, I hope you learned something today. I hope this helps if you're stuck in a project. If anything, maybe you just find my stupidity mildly humorous. I know sometimes I do. But anyway, take care of each other. Watch out for each other. And you can check me out at ericsnyder802@gmail.com. You can also, I have some pictures up of the interior of the Vet up on Instagram, and that's at ericsnyder26 on Instagram. So if you want, check that out. I got some pictures up with the dash. Now that it's all painted, I started putting it together. So those will be up. And plus some smart ass stuff that I, read and shit. So take care of each other, watch out for each other, and we'll see you next time. All right, take care. Bye for now.